Hi everybody, welcome to Art Less Ordinary by Ben. So tonight I'm going to do a waterfall cloud pour. So I've got my decoart satin enamel in pure white, and I have phthalo blue and cerulean blue. So these are mixed. The phthalo blue is 45 grams paint to 100 grams floetrol. The cerulean blue is 40 grams paint to 100 grams floetrol, so I made them slightly thinner, and this blue was thicker than that one, so I made it a little bit less. And the white is 30 grams paint, 20 grams satin enamel, and 110 grams floetrol. So they're all a little tiny bit thinner than normal. So I'm going to put them in this big cup. My canvas is on a slight angle. I've got a couple of empty cups underneath it. So it's going to flow down this way. So it should be darker at one end, lighter towards the other. So first of all, I'm going to put a bit of white in the bottom. Then I'm going to put some cerulean blue. Then I'm going to go a bit more white. Then more cerulean blue. And then a little bit of phthalo blue. Then white, cerulean blue, and then I'm going to increase the amount of phthalo blue I put in each time. Then we're going white. Cerulean, and then phthalo. So now there's more phthalo blue than there is cerulean blue in each layer. More white. Cerulean, which I'm putting in less each time now, and increasing how much phthalo there is. Then white. Cerulean, which is probably all I'm going to get in there now with that one. Then phthalo, then white, then phthalo. Okay, get these cups out of the way. I have a bit more white left over, but I'm going to leave that. So now I'm going to pour this on the canvas, and it's going to flow down. I may take one more cup off so it's not so much of a steep angle. And I'm going to pour out of the opposite end to where I poured in from this time. No, I'm not. Wanted to see how the paint was going to flow, but it looks like it's better off to flow this way. So just slowly. No, it's not as deep an angle as I would like. There we go. So I'm just pouring it. I'm hoping to stop before the paint starts going over the other edge. There's a fair bit of white in this last bit. Okay. Quickly get some gloves on. Remove this cap from underneath, and I want to tilt it sideways. So I'm going to come backwards first on both sides and try and cover this end before I start going towards the other end. I'm not sure how this one's going to actually look. I haven't done a waterfall pour with this before, and there's a lot more white than I was expecting. But I am going to go over the edges. And I'm going to do opposite corner. I'm going to come and do this back corner now. Then I'm going to come back and do this back corner. I don't want to lose too much of the deeper blue, but I think I'm going to. And try not, no, I'm going to. I might actually take it down off this bottom corner. And stretch out those lines. I didn't quite get the effect I was going for. So I had to modify my tilting. And this is what sometimes happens. You don't always get the effects that you're actually aiming for, so you have to kind of change your plan halfway through. Now let's double check our corners. Yep. Yep. That corner's done now, and that corner's done. So this is the effect I was going for, which is sitting on my cap. See that more streaky colours? Didn't get that as much. So this is a what I probably could have done is put more paint on the canvas so it flowed more and didn't roll over itself. I think that might have been what the issue was. But we are going to give it a torch. Pop these bubbles. So yeah, the effect I was going for, I'll move this out of the way, was what's sitting on here. See how I've got this satin enamel with the dark blue lines and the other colours and kind of little pearls that have come up? That's what I was going for. But I think because the paint was rolling over itself, I was losing too much of the blue. So I'll have to do this again another time and try and go for that effect more. But this is why we do things. You do things to learn, because learning is always helpful. And you can often learn things by watching videos, but sometimes you've got to do things yourself to figure it out properly. And a lot of people don't actually give you everything that they do on a video. A lot of people might show you the tilting, but they don't show you their measurements of their paints and things like that. So sometimes you got to figure it out for yourself. I have found clad pours can be a little bit challenging because either people use a different product to me, or they don't tell me what they're using, like their measurements, what their ratios and that are. So it's not always easy to figure it out. So you sometimes have to just go with it and hope for the best. So this is looking alright, but not what I planned to achieve. So I might finish off this video. I'll leave it to settle in to see what changes, and I might not try another one. I've got a little bit of paint. I wonder if I can move that across to this side. Move this cup out of the way. What have I got small enough that's going to fit there? I don't even know if I've got a tile that's small enough to fit there. I do have a coaster. Ooh. I've got a packet of coasters. Now, seeing I've got a little bit of paint left over, let's try a little experiment with the coaster. Going to get a mini little shot glass. We're going to pour some of the satin enamel in. And then we're going to pour some blue. And some other blue. Then we'll need some more satin enamel. Now, let's try a miniature flip cup. No harm in testing, is there? Might as well while this is doing its thing. I wonder how level that is. That should be level. Well, I'll see once it starts coming off the edge how level that actually is. So, let's go for it. A little bit more paint in there than I thought would be. let's see what happens with this. Got cloudy little pearls coming up. You know what? Let's do another one. No point having one coaster, is there? And I might as well use up the rest of the paint that I have. I don't like wasting paint, and there doesn't seem to be enough here to do anything bigger. Okay. I don't know if I'm on camera angle at the moment, if you guys can see what I'm doing. So just in case you guys couldn't see, I put white in the bottom, 2 blues, and then more white on top. And then I'm just going to do another little flip. And then I'm going to blow over the edge like I did with the other one to try to get the blue to come to the surface and the white to go over the edges, and see what little pearls or clouds form. This one's going to be darker. So we're just letting it settle in and spread out to reach the edges by itself. And I'll torch them both at the same time, I think. It's still moving. I might blow on it now so I can actually get the paint to cover the whole thing. There. Now that's still going to flatten out, but while it's doing that, let's get the blowtorch and see what happens. Turn it down a little bit. No, not much more is happening with that one. These are looking pretty cool. Getting nice little fluffy cloud cells happening. But I still have to say I love the cup the most. The bottom of the cup that was sitting underneath here, which had the paint running over it. So this is quite nice, very oceany looking. I wonder whether it looks better from your angle or my angle. I'm so used to having them facing me, and it's not until I watch them on video sometimes that I see them the other way around. I think this looks better with the darker blue in it. but they're both quite interesting in their own way. So, well, that's what I do. If I've got a bit of paint left over, I often get out my little wooden coasters and just have a bit of a practice run and do a couple of things with them. It's leftover paint, why not? It's better than wasting it. And you get to see different effects. Like this is one of the cloud pour paints I had left today. I wouldn't call this fantastic, but I can always paint back over that again. There's no harm in putting another layer on top of this. So they're good little test runs. But yeah, so this is the pours that I have done for tonight. They're interesting. They're not my favourites. I do like this, but wasn't because it's not what I was expecting. I was expecting that. I think in my own head I'm a little bit disappointed. But I often leave things. I come back and look at them a few days later when they're dry and go, you know what? I actually don't mind that. So I'm going to pause it and bring you down for a close-up of all three. So there is my main painting. As you can see, it's interesting. It's got a nice, it's got a good flow to it. It's a little bit cloudy. Not as cloudy as I was expecting. But I think that's still quite interesting. You've got nice little colours in here. Over here, it's gotten a bit cloudy. Quite cloudy here with these nice streaks going through it. But the effect I was wanting was this type of effect on this cup. That's exactly what I wanted. So I'm gonna have to do this again. And here is test coaster number 1, which has got nice little cloud pearls coming up in it. And test coaster number 2. So leftover paint, chuck them on a coaster. If you like them, you can varnish them or seal them in some way. Otherwise, you can just paint over them again. This time I've let the paint run off the sides. But it's got some quite cool effects close up. See little pearls. That's from me blowing on it, which kind of brought through the paint underneath. This one didn't really get a lot of the darker blue, but it looks quite cool down through there. So yeah, interesting. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a good afternoon or evening, and I'll see you tomorrow for another pour. Alright, catch you later. Bye.